Hey ladies, it's Valerie. I'm gonna try this again. Obviously this is the third vlog that I've done tonight, and I've already tried to do this vlog a couple of times, so let's just go with it. Okay, this is the vlog that I had been telling people on Facebook that involves some life change, and it certainly does for me. Sadly, it's not my BFP or anything like that. We're hoping for that as an early Christmas present, as you have just seen in a couple of my other vlogs. However, I'll just get started. I don't really know where to begin or how to go with this, but it might be two parts, just because I'm going to try to upload it from my phone this time, and hopefully it'll go through. I was adopted when I was 4 years old by who I call my dad. With my biological mother. I have my biological mother as my mom, but I was adopted by my dad, who I call my dad, at the age of 4, from my father. I have what I'll call a father, a dad, and a stepdad, and I've always known that I was adopted. I've always known that my dad was my dad, and I grew up knowing no different, other than, that I did know that I was adopted by law by him. So I didn't know much about my father for all of those years. I had been told that, I really don't even know what I was told anymore. I was told that he just didn't want to be a dad. I was told that he had asked my mom why didn't she have an abortion. I guess I should give you a little bit of the backstory. My mom was 18 when she got pregnant with me. She kept her pregnancy a secret. She had no prenatal care. She was actually living in the house with my grandparents, her mom and dad at the time, and she kept it a secret from them. Apparently she didn't show it all. I don't know how that's possible. I was born in February, so my only thought is that she was able to hide it with like chunky sweaters and clothing and things. His hair's going crazy. So she did not tell anybody until the night that her water broke, and she went into her parents' bedroom and said, "Hey, I'm pregnant, my water broke." And they took her to the hospital, and I was miraculously born without any perfectly healthy, 6 pound, 6 ounce, I think, baby girl. So, I don't know. I don't know how that happens. Again, accidental, no prenatal care, and here I am, trying and jumping through hoops and doing all the right and perfect things, and, it just doesn't matter. That's what I'm kind of discovering during this journey, is that with all of my friends getting pregnant on a whim and not having any prenatal, vitamins or planning or anything like that, it just doesn't matter. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So, anyway, fast forward a little bit. When I was 14, my father was getting married to a lady named Judy, and he, I guess, was telling her about his life, and I was a part of that life. And so I actually met my father when I was 14, and I actually went to his wedding, to his new wife, and he was married before her once, but I never met her or anything. But I was at his wedding, and after that we just kind of lost correspondence. I don't really know why. All I can remember is that maybe I thought that since I was already so far along in life and I hadn't needed him since then, why should I need him now? That's the only thing I can really remember. I don't really remember our correspondence. I really hardly even remember, meeting him or our correspondence back then. I just know that somehow it stopped. And so again, fast forward, we didn't see each other. I am now 26, going on 27, and on my YouTube Facebook account, I was learning how to receive messages from people who were not considered, friends with me on there, and I saw a message from this man's name. I'm not going to tell it to you, but my father does not have the most unique name in the world, so I thought that it was just a spammer or that it just wasn't him. And all the message said was, "Is this Valerie?" So I was like, well, my username is Valley Girl, so the chances of this actually being this person, are pretty slim, because you can see my first name right there, so this could just be a spammer. So I didn't realize it until later that when I had originally created that account name, it was under my maiden name, and and so I didn't realize that he had actually sent me this message back in 2010, so August of last year. I just now got it in November of 11, so just kind of crazy. So I talked to my husband about it, and I was like, do you really think that this could be him or whatever? And I was like, yeah, I really don't think so. Just the chances are really weird. So I went ahead and just responded back with, "Who is this?" And that opened the door. It turned out that it was my father, and that he had been looking for me, and he wanted to chat. He wanted me to allow him to talk to him, and just to give him the chance to tell me where his heart was back then. And I don't hold any grudges. I don't, I absolutely believe in everything happens for a reason, and I don't know why necessarily. I don't, this side of heaven, I may not ever know why anything happens, but I absolutely know that there is a reason, far greater than what I know. So anyway, we corresponded via message for a couple of days, and he told me that I have a brother that I did not know about, and that he is 7 years old. And I don't know if I've mentioned before, but I do have other siblings. I have several other siblings. I actually have my dad is remarried. My dad and my mom got divorced, when I was 13. Sorry if this story is kind of crazy. My dad got remarried a couple of years ago to a woman who has two sons, and they are ages, I think, 23 and 17. I have two other half-brothers. One is 23 and the other is 13. And I have a stepsister who is also 23. And now I have this new brother, and he is my half-brother, and he is 7. I had posted on Facebook a couple of days ago that I was stunned and shocked, and my father said that he would send me some photos of my brother, and he did. And my brother has Down syndrome. My father was later in life when he and his wife had this baby. I don't know much else about any of the conception or the pregnancy. I do know that he had a ventricular septal deviation when he was born, which is a hole in the heart on the ventricle side as opposed to the atrial side, and that he has Down syndrome. So I was stunned because it was not expected. None of this was expected. This all happened in the past week. And when I saw this little boy's face, I just felt this love and a desire for him to know that he is special, and that he is something important, and that he is beautiful and he's precious. And I can't explain how much I've learned over the past couple of days, and how the human heart can just encompass so much more love than you think that it can. And this is a very very difficult place for me to be in. I'm going to let this video run over 10 minutes, and we'll just see if I can get it to upload. I hope I can. This is a very difficult place for me to be in. I have not told anybody in my family yet that we have been communicating. The reason for this is because I don't want anybody giving their opinions at this point. I don't want anybody's advice. I don't want I don't want anybody's take on anything. I don't want any questions. Not at this time. So it's just a very weird spot to be in. I did end up calling the other night. We had planned a time to talk, and we talked for an hour and a half, and I feel like it was a very good talk. He was able to tell me about himself and about what the story was back then, and I don't really know what I'll share with you all right now, but I do know that there are two sides to every story, and he did not try to implicate my mother in any way, you know, in any wrong way. But I will tell you that, you know, my husband was with me when we made the phone call, just to be, you know, supportive. And I tell you, you know, dialing that number and pressing the call button was just one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, because I was nervous and scared, and you know, do I want this relationship in my life? Why wouldn't I want this relationship in my life? I don't know. I'm just in a very weird spot right now. I do want this relationship in my life, and that's a weird spot to be in as well, because then I almost feel like I'm cheating on my family. I wonder how my dad would feel. As you might be able to tell, or I may have said before, I don't have the closest relationship with some of my family members, and I don't know, you guys. I just wanted to tell you and share this because this is a really big, really big, huge part of my life. I'm like I said, life-changing. And I don't know where I'm going to go from here. I don't know where the relationship is going to go. I'm feeling a lot of things right now. And I can't explain it. I wish I could explain it. I can't explain it. Feelings of vulnerability. If I have this relationship in my life, will I be vulnerable? And if I am, I can get hurt. There's just a lot of things. There's a lot of silly things. So I'm just, I'm asking you for you guys to just think about me, pray for me. Any thoughts or words of wisdom you can give would be great. I don't know if any of you have been in a similar situation, if you've been adopted, even half adopted. I mean, this is a very, very interesting time for me. And it brings up a lot of questions about the future too, with our building a family journey, you know, of adoption being an option for us, and it just opens up a lot more thought pathways of, you know, if we do decide to adopt, how are we going to tell our children? We've always said that we would always let them know from the beginning. But what's going to happen, and what is it going to feel like on that day when they want to find out about their biological parents, and what are their feelings going to be, and how is that going to feel to us? Just a lot of different things. And I have talked to a friend of mine who is adopted, and her feelings on it. And she was told when she was 20 years old, and not in the best way. And she said that to me that she would either have wanted to always know or just to never know. And I think at some point, you know, medically, it would come out that you were adopted. And I don't know, you guys. I know I'm kind of rambling now, and I don't know what I had for this video intended. I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on, because it is a big deal in my life, and it's just a new component to add to everything right now that what we're going through. And I'm not concerned about the Down syndrome being passed down. Again, I don't know much about Down syndrome, and I don't know much about, I mean, I have worked with children with special needs, but I don't know much about, as far as I do know it is a genetic defect, but that does not necessarily mean that it is hereditary. There is a very small percent, I think it's something like 2% or just something like that, I don't know, a very small percent of actually the hereditary gene being passed down. But I do know, like I said again, that your chances increase quite a bit once you hit over the age of 35, even, you know, 30 from being in your 20s, you know, at age 30 it does kind of increase, and I'm sorry you guys, my contact is driving me nuts. And then I do know 35 and above also, you have very high, you know, your risk is heightened for it. So, and I do know that they were older, and maybe someday in the future I will find out a little bit more about that story. So anyway, there's a lot. There's just a lot. So I may come to you from, you know, here on out with some snippets and some more kind of unveilings about this story. I feel like I'm a terrible storyteller, so I apologize if this has made no sense, but maybe it's going to help me clear a little bit up from my head. So, all right, thanks, girls. I'm sorry if this video made absolutely no sense at all. It's just a strange time. All right, thanks, ladies. I'm winking at you because my contact hurts. Bye.